Picture this, a man in a tattered jacket, standing alone on a bustling city street, holding a crumpled piece of paper with a desperate plea scrawled across it. His face is weathered, his eyes heavy with a secret no one could guess. This isn't just any man. He's hiding something massive here, something that could turn the world of everyone around him upside down. What's his secret? And why is he standing there, pretending to be someone he's not? You're about to find out in a story that'll grip your heart and leave you speechless. If you love stories of heartbreak, redemption, and jaw-dropping twists, hit that subscribe button right now and join our community. We're diving into a tale you won't forget. The man's name is Ethan Caldwell, a 38-year-old billionaire CEO of Caldwell Enterprises, a tech empire that powers half the smartphones in America. From the outside, Ethan has it all: a penthouse overlooking Manhattan, private jets, and a name that opens any door. But inside, he's empty. For years, he's dated women who saw his wealth before they saw him. Every smile, every laugh, it all felt like a transaction. He's tired of the gold diggers, the fake tears, the calculated charm. Ethan wants something real, something pure. So, he's hatched a plan so bold, so reckless, it might just destroy everything he's built or finally give him the love he's been chasing. It's a chilly October evening in New York City, the kind where the wind bites at your fingertips. Ethan steps out of his chauffeured Bentley, but he's not dressed in his usual tailored suit. He's wearing a faded denim jacket, scuffed boots, and jeans with a hole at the knee. His driver, Marcus, raises an eyebrow. "You sure about this, boss?" he asks, leaning against the car. Ethan nods, his jaw tight. "I need to know," he says. "I need to know if there's anyone out there who'd want me without the money." Marcus shakes his head, muttering, "This is crazy," but Ethan's already walking away, blending into the crowd. His plan is simple but daring. He's going to pretend to be a broke, down on his luck guy looking for a date. He's created a fake profile on a dating app under the name Evan Carter, a struggling artist who lives in a rundown apartment in Brooklyn. The profile picture shows him in a thrift store sweater, sitting on a park bench with a sketch pad. The bio reads, "Just a guy who loves coffee, good conversation, and second chances. Looking for someone who sees the heart, not the wallet." He's posted on local forums, too, with a handwritten sign he plans to hold up in Times Square. "Broke artist seeking a date. No money, just honesty. Will you join me?" Ethan's heart pounds as he steps into Times Square, the neon lights flashing like a fever dream. Tourists snap photos, street performers drum on buckets, and the air hums with energy. He pulls out his sign, the words scrawled in black marker, and holds it high. People pass by, some glancing, others ignoring him completely. A group of women in designer coats walk by, their heels clicking on the pavement. One of them, a brunette with a diamond bracelet, stops and reads the sign. She laughs, loud and sharp, like a knife cutting through the noise. "A broke artist, honey, you're dreaming if you think anyone's falling for that," she says, tossing her hair. Her friends giggle, and they disappear into the crowd. Ethan's face burns, but he keeps the sign raised, his resolve hardening. Minutes turn into an hour. The rejections pile up. A blonde in a fur-trimmed jacket smirks and says, "Get a job, loser." A redhead with a Louis Vuitton bag snaps a photo of him, laughing as she posts it online with the caption, "When you're too poor to date but still try." Ethan's hands shake, but he doesn't lower the sign. He's starting to wonder if this was a mistake. Maybe everyone in this city is the same here, chasing status, money, power. Maybe love, real love, is just a fairy tale. Then, he sees her. A young woman, maybe 25, weaving through the crowd with a worn backpack slung over one shoulder. Her coat is threadbare, her sneakers scuffed, and her dark hair is pulled into a messy bun. She's carrying a stack of flyers, handing them out to passers-by who barely glance at her. Ethan watches as she approaches a man in a suit, offering a flyer with a shy smile. The man waves her off without a word. She sighs, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, and that's when her eyes meet Ethan's. She freezes, reading his sign. For a moment, The world seems to slower, the chaos of Times Square fades, and it's just the two of them, staring across a sea of strangers. Her name is Leila Monroe, a part-time barrister and aspiring musician who lives in a cramped studio apartment in Queens. Leila's life hasn't been easy. She grew up in a small town in Ohio, raised by a single mom who worked double shifts at a diner. Music was her escape, her guitar a lifeline through years of struggle. She moved to New York with big dreams, but the city's been cruel. Gig after gig falls through, and her savings are dwindling. The flyers she's handing out are for a small open mic night she's organized at a local cafe. Copyright, hoping to get her music noticed. But no one's interested, and she's starting to feel invisible. Leila walks toward Ethan, her curiosity piqued by the man with the sign. Up close, she notices his eyes are deep, stormy gray, with a sadness that feels familiar. "You're really doing this?" she asks, gesturing at the sign. Her voice is soft but direct, no mockery in it. Ethan nods, forcing a smile. "Yeah, figured I'd try my luck." Not exactly a winning strategy so far. Leila tilts her head, studying him. "Well, it's honest," she says. "That's more than most people around here." She glances at the crowd, then back at him. "I'll go on a date with you, but only if you promise not to be a creep." Ethan laughs, a real laugh, the first he's felt all night. "Deal," he says. "I'm Evan, by the way." They agree to meet the next evening at a small diner in Brooklyn, the kind of place with sticky tables and fluorescent lights. Ethan arrives early, still dressed as Evan Carter, his fake persona. He's nervous, more than he expected. Leila shows up in a simple sweater and jeans, her guitar case slung over her back. She smiles when she sees him, and it's not the polished smile of the women he's used to. It's warm, unguarded, like she's letting him in on a secret. They order coffee and burgers, and the conversation flows effortlessly. Leila talks about her music, her dreams of playing at Carnegie Hall someday, and the way the city both breaks her heart and keeps her going. Ethan listens, captivated. He tells her about Evan's life as an artist, weaving a story of late-night sketches and a tiny apartment filled with paint cans. He hates lying, but he needs to know if she's real. Halfway through the meal, Leila leans forward, her eyes narrowing. "Okay, Evan," she says, "what's your deal?" Nobody just stands in Times Square with a sign like that unless they're running from something or hiding something. Ethan's heart skips. "She's sharp, too sharp." He deflects with a laugh, saying, "Maybe I'm just tired of being alone." Leila doesn't push, but her gaze lingers, like she knows there's more to him. As they leave the diner, she pulls out her guitar and plays a soft melody on the sidewalk, her voice raw and haunting. Ethan feels something shift inside him, a warmth he hasn't felt in years. For the first time, he wonders if he's found what he's been searching for. But the story doesn't end there. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Leila grow closer. They meet for coffee, walk through Central Park, and share late-night talks on fire escapes. Ethan keeps up the charade, renting a dingy apartment in Brooklyn to maintain his cover. Every moment with Leila feels like a gift, but the weight of his lie grows heavier. She's Rella brutally, beautifully Rella, and he's falling for her hard. Leila opens up about her past, her fears, her dreams. She tells him about her mom, who passed away a year ago, and how she's been fighting to keep her music alive in her memory. Ethan wants to tell her the truth, but he's terrified. What if she hates him for lying? What if she only wants him for his money once she knows? Meanwhile, Ethan's world is unraveling. His company is facing a crisis. A rival tech firm, led by a cutthroat CEO named Victoria Langston, is trying to sabotage Caldwell Enterprises with a smear campaign. Victoria, a former flame who left Ethan when he refused to fund her lavish lifestyle, has caught wind of his experiment. She's ruthless, and she smells blood. One evening, she corners Ethan at a gala he's attending as himself, not Evan. "I know what you're doing," she hisses, her red lips curling. "Playing poor to find love. Pathetic. I'll make sure your little girlfriend knows exactly who you are." Ethan's blood runs cold. Victoria's not bluffing, as she's got spies everywhere, and she's vicious enough to destroy Leela just to hurt him. The tension escalates when Leela invites Ethan to her open mic night at the Cafe Tilde Copyright. It's a big moment for her, a chance to perform her original songs in front of a small but influential crowd. Ethan promises to be there, but on the day of the event, Victoria makes her move. She leaks a story to a gossip blog, complete with photos of Ethan as Evan with Leela, alongside images of him in his CEO suit at board meetings. The headline screams, "Billionaire CEO slums it for Lavia, is she in on the scam?" The story goes viral, and by the time Ethan arrives at the Cafe Tilde Copyright, the crowd is buzzing with whispers. Leela's already on stage, mid-song, her voice trembling with emotion. Ethan sees her falter as someone in the audience holds up their phone, showing her the article. Leela finishes her song, but her face is pale. She steps off the stage and confronts Ethan in the back of the Cafe Tilde Copyright, her eyes blazing. "Is it true?" she asks, her voice breaking. "Are you Ethan Caldwell? This whole time, you've been lying to me?" Ethan tries to explain, his words tripping over each other. "I wanted to know if you'd care about me without the money," he says. "I didn't mean to hurt you." Leela laughs, but it's bitter, raw. "You think this is about money? You think I'd care about that? You lied to me, Ivanu Ethana, whatever your name is. You made me believe in someone who doesn't exist." She grabs her guitar and storms out, leaving Ethan standing alone, the weight of his mistake crushing him. The next few days are a blur of regret. Ethan throws himself into saving his company, fending off Victoria's attacks, but his heart isn't in it. He can't stop thinking about Lila, her laugh, her music, the way she saw him, not his wealth. He tries calling her, texting her, but she's gone silent. Desperate, he tracks her down to her apartment in Queens. She opens the door, her eyes red from crying. "What do you want?" she asks, her voice cold. Ethan takes a deep breath and tells her everything of the loneliness, the gold diggers, the plan that spiraled out of control. He tells her he's fallen in love with her, that she's the only person who's ever made him feel real. "I don't expect you to forgive me," he says, "but I need you to know the truth." Leela listens, her expression unreadable. When he finishes, she's quiet for a long moment. Then she says, "You broke my trust, Ethan. That's not something you can fix with a speech." But as she turns away, she pauses. "If you want to make this right, start by being honest, not just with me or with yourself." She closes the door, and Ethan feels like the ground's been ripped out from under him. But her words stick with him. Be honest. For the first time, he realizes this isn't just about Lila, it's about who he wants to be. Ethan spends the next week rebuilding. He fires Victoria's spies in his company, exposes her smear campaign, and stabilizes Caldwell Enterprises. But more than that, he changes. He starts funding community art programs, inspired by Leela's passion for music. He sells his penthouse and moves into a modest apartment, not to pretend, but because he wants a simpler life. And every day, he sends Leela a text, not begging for forgiveness, but sharing small truths about himself, hoping she'll see he's trying. One evening, as snow falls over New York, Ethan gets a text from Leela, "Meet me at the diner. 7 p.m. His heart races as he arrives, finding her at their old table, her guitar case beside her. She looks at him, her eyes soft but guarded. "I've been thinking," she says. "I don't know if I can trust you again, but I miss you. The real you, whoever that is." Ethan takes her hand, his voice steady. "I'm figuring that out, but I want to do it with you, if you'll let me." Leela doesn't smile, but she doesn't pull away. "One step at a time," she says. They order coffee, and as they talk, the diner feels like home again. The screen fades to black, and text appears. "Sometimes, the greatest wealth is the courage to be real." The music swells, a soft acoustic melody that echoes Leela's songs. Then, my voice cuts in. Wow, what a journey, right? Ethan and Leela's story shows us that love isn't about money or status, so it's about truth and connection. What did you think of this story? And here's a question for you. From which part of the country are you watching this video? Drop it in the comments below. and let's see where our community's at. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you glued to the screen. Until next time, keep chasing what's real.